A day in the life of a dairy cow veterinarian. Typically, I wake up before the sun comes up. The first cows are milked on the dairy very early in the morning, so I gotta get there in order to fit myself into their daily routine. I also have to drive a pretty far away to get to the farms that I work on. When I get there, I put on my ultrasound goggles and my boots. I usually start the day doing pregnancy checkups of dairy cows. I walk through the pens looking for the cows that I need. At this point, the cows have all woken up and are eating their breakfast. So while they're all lined up, we lock their stanchions so that I can walk behind them and find the cows that I need and check on their pregnancy. I work on some beautiful farms and get to see some very beautiful sunrises at my job. On a typical day on the farm, I might check 300 or 400 cows. Sometimes it's less than that, sometimes it's more. Each cow is checked once per trimester during their pregnancy to check on the health of their baby and the pregnancy. As the sun comes up, it starts to get hot. I live in a very hot area, so we try to finish as early as possible so that the cows aren't stressed out. See them laying down? These cows are very relaxed right now. A big part of the job that I love is observing cows in their home environment. While a small animal vet sees a dog and cat inside the clinic and is focused on the animal, I am focused not only on the animal, but in the environment and how they are treated. I walk behind the cows and see the cleanliness of the pens. I look at the consistency of the manure. I look at their feed and what's in it, how it's mixed, and how the cows are eating. I look at how long they're locked up. I look at their water troughs and make sure they have access to clean water. I look at everything around them, how they're moving to the milking parlor, how they're being treated, how they're being cared for. I look at their body condition, making sure they're not too fat or too thin. I'm doing a mini welfare evaluation every time I am on the farm, which is typically once a week or every other week. After I do my checkup, I usually do some data analysis. So I work on the computer and look at the overall health records of the farm and look at the results of the checkups that I did that day. This is a very important part of my job, to identify trends early before they become a big problem, and I love doing that. Then after that, I usually do some observation, things that maybe I didn't get to see on the farm that day as a part of my regular visit. Here I am observing the milking parlor. Sometimes I do this while I'm washing my boots. Sometimes I go to a part of the farm that maybe I haven't checked in on in a while. Sometimes someone says something and asks me to check up on something in a certain area. Watch these cows in the milking parlor. They are loading one by one and lining up to get milked. They put their heads through these bars in the front, and the milking technicians are in the back. I noticed that the pathway is very clean for them, and it is open and allows them to walk back to their pen. I noticed that the fans are blowing, and I can feel the temperature and the environment inside the milking parlor. I can look at the cows that are next to be milked and how they are lined up and how they are waiting. I can look at the cows that are being milked right now and what their attitude is. You can see many of them are chewing their cud. That's a sign that they are calm. I remember when I was a vet student, I didn't understand how you could evaluate so many animals in a small amount of time as a dairy veterinarian. But the thing is, we can observe a lot when we're on the farms, and there is a lot that our eyes can tell us about these animals and what their attitude is, what their comfort level is, what their stress level is, and what their health is. Depending on the area that I was on that day, I then usually do some teaching or training on the farm. So I work with the employees to make sure that they're identifying issues and understanding the importance of their job. Every job on the dairy is hugely important for animal health and animal welfare, and it's really important that the employees appreciate that. Other areas I may assess is working with the calves. Here I'm asking a calf to stand so that I can do an evaluation, or sometimes I'll do some blood work so I can draw blood from this calf and assess whether she got her colostrum in a timely manner. I can look at the calf area, the calf hutches, and make sure that they are clean and their water and their feed is available and clean as well. I work with a lot of great farmers that are striving their best to care for all animals on the farm. After I'm done working with the animals, I will clean my boots and get ready for the next farm or whatever else I have to do that day. Even though it's been a big day already, after I'm done at my main farm that I visit that day, I am available for emergency calls. So I may get called out to look at a sick cow, like this one. I have to do a physical exam to figure out what's going on with her and make a treatment plan to make sure she gets the care that she needs in order to feel better. The most common reason I get called out to look at a sick cow on emergency is for a DA, which is a displaced abomasum. You can hear that by flicking the cow while you're listening with your stethoscope to listen for a ping. This means that her stomach is twisted and in the wrong spot and often requires surgery. I don't get called out for a lot of emergencies because there are animal health technicians on farms that are trained to assess and treat the animals. Another common reason I get called out is for a calving or a dystocia, meaning a difficult birth. Sometimes these cows need assistance, and sometimes they need medication, and sometimes it's a bigger problem, and they need a C-section. As a dairy cow veterinarian, I do surgeries right on the farm. It is best not to have to move the animal and to provide that care in her home environment. Most dairy farms have a hospital pen or a hospital area where these animals that need special care will go for extra TLC. So this cow, I gave a C-section, and she'll go to the hospital. My days are really variable. I work in all weather, and I start before sunrise, and sometimes don't get done till after sunset. But I love working with the animals that I get to work with. And I love working with the people as well. The people on the farms really care for their animals, and they want what's best for them. And it's very cool to be a part of their team. While every day is different as a dairy cow veterinarian, there is never a dull moment. When I was a kid, I didn't even know this job existed, but I'm so glad I found it. If this has been interesting to you, please drop a comment, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks. Hit that subscribe button and have a good day.